This trip started off as an impromptu getaway before my scheduled left shoulder rotator cuff repair. I knew that I would be laid up for several months and I wanted one last getaway. As usual for us, we left Southern Oregon with a snowstorm looming over us. It was fun to see if we could outrun the dark skies. We stayed our second night in the cutest little RV spot in an orange grove in Bakersfield. We were excited for the next leg of our drive when we would get to the Trona Pinnacles. Many science fiction type movies had been filmed out here and we were anxious to see what it looked like. We soon learned that we also need to get an air compressor so that we can deflate our tires for these lovely washboard roads. We will be back.
There you go. Slow, slow. Might be a little better.
It's hard to tell from the video, but we watched for about 45 minutes as this sandstorm, or perhaps dust storm, blew through the valley. Our first night in Death Valley, we stayed at Mesquite Springs Campground. We've stayed here before and we like that it's secluded and out of the way and far less busy than some of the ones closer into the, quote, town of Death Valley. While at Mesquite Springs, we drove over to the Ubehebe Crater. It was very interesting. We had never been there before. The Ubehebe Crater was created when hot molten rock turns groundwater into steam. The pressure builds and eventually the rock and steam explode, forming this large crater approximately 500 feet deep. The next day we drove the 30+ miles to Furnace Creek. We had hoped that we would not need to buy diesel fuel while in Death Valley at $9.99 a gallon. We decided to stay the night at Texas Springs Campground, but be aware there is no generator use while there. On one of our mornings while staying at Texas Springs, we got up early and visited the Devil's Golf Course, which is crystallized salt fields. They're very, very sharp. It's not recommended to go hiking across there. The next stop was Badwater Basin at 282 feet below sea level. It was quite cold the morning that we were there. I think I had expected it to be a lot hotter, but in early March you get what you get. Seemed like a lot of it was shaded, but as you walked further out across the salt fields, I do believe it got a lot hotter. My favorite of our 3 stops this early morning was the Palette of Color. This drive was magnificent. I wish that the camera could do justice to all the colors that we saw in the rocks. It's recommended that you see this in the morning and evening, as you are likely to see more of the contrasting colors. We had an early morning and we enjoyed it thoroughly.
You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.
On the way back to our campground, right at the turnoff, we saw a coyote crossing the road. Poor thing, I had never seen a coyote in the wild, but this looked like the skinniest, mangiest looking thing I had ever seen. We had heard coyotes quite a bit in Texas Springs Campground, and one woman had warned us that a coyote had tried to swipe her dog, so we kept Skip pretty close to the van. We decided to leave Death Valley, going through Daylight Pass, which I call kind of the northeast entrance, and it ties into Highway 374 in Nevada. We were greeted by Donkey. I know they say don't feed the donkeys, but who could resist that face? And I just happened to have a handful of baby carrots. We overnighted at Walker Lake. This was right off of Highway 95, just north of the town of Hawthorne. You can see by the snow-capped mountains, it was still cold in early March. Thanks for watching my videos, and thank you for bearing with me through my first attempt at a voiceover. Hopefully this gets better.